babyest dog. You're so beautiful. Okay. Ugh. Oh, and probably bug balm to get rid of all of the frickin' spiders. This week, I thought I'd do something a little different. I've been working on the house for such a long time now, and it's easy to forget how far it's actually come. I wanted to take you on a tour of the house, show you what I finished, what I'm still working on, and what's left on the to-do list. So let's tour the house. This is the garage. This space was the first space that I came into when I got the house, and it was just full of stuff about this high. And some of it was trash and some of it was, personal effects stuff. The freezer that was here is still here. I have opened it. It smells horrible. So I have closed it and not touched it. I do need to get rid of it. But it's like a whole thing and I haven't wanted to do it yet. And for now, it's a nice little horizontal surface to put stuff on. What I have done in this space, clearing everything out, sweeping the floor, getting everything out. There are supplies and materials stored over here. I have all of the flooring that I'm gonna do in the kitchen and the downstairs hallway and the upstairs bedroom. And then I have my wood storage and supplies, overflow, leftover things from different projects. I have a little workbench set up so that I can cut things when I need to, and paint thinner and chemical supply, various things from around the house that have found storage out here in the garage, and my lawnmower and pressure washer. The garage door that was here was broken and non-functional. I did remove the track for the garage door. I built and installed new garage door. I replaced the glass pane for the window, and I know there is water damage on this portion of the ceiling. The roof over the garage is like a flat roof design. It needs the material added to it to slope it properly, and I just have not wanted to go up on a ladder and do that. Oh, also I rehung this door. At some point, I think someone ran their car into this corner, which is what damaged the garage door and damaged this door. And so I fixed that. I need to fix the door again because when I had someone come to the house, they tried to pull a push door and they bent the hinges. And so I need to take it down, fix the hinges, and put it back up. And I just haven't done that. I also installed new locks on the door. That was one of the first things I did when I got the house. Breaking into the house was the first thing to do. So crawling through the garbage that was through here, getting to the garage door, and the county had broken into the house and added a padlock whenever they left. So cutting through that to gain access to the house. And then I installed new doorknobs and locks, like the first thing. And it was just the process of securing the house was the first thing that I needed to do. And that's the garage. What is left to be done in here is I still need to get stuff out of this closet that's out here. And then when I leave, I will be taking all of my stuff with me. Also, and I've had this idea, I figured it out and then I forgot how I figured it out. I want to weather strip this garage door. I figured out how to do it because it's not a lift up garage door, it's barn style doors that open. And I had figured out how to do that and then I forgot what I had discovered and I need to go back and refigure it out again. So weather stripping this door, the trim and painting this door are also things that I would like to do. And they're little mini projects that when I get the house done and the house is on the market for sale, I might do those things as side things. So this is the front porch. There was a big hole in the front porch when I bought the house, just water damage, and one of the joists had come loose. and so the decking was not fully supported. At some point, someone must have stepped through the decking. I repaired the joist and added decking to the porch. This is not like the most high quality decking. That was not a thing that was in the budget to do. It is a very large porch, which is very nice. So it's a little more interesting of a pattern. So these are just pallet boards that are stripped down and screwed into a plywood decking surface, which is using what was here, using what I had. I also installed the fencing, the railing around the edge and the handrails on the side. So there was a post and a new porch light. This door is still going to have a little bit of a makeover to it. I have decided what I'm going to paint it. I did install a new doorknob and lock when I first moved in. Just not having to have keys all the time is super convenient. And then I installed some security lights that are battery operated, so it's just convenient when there was no power to be able to see out here. And then you've seen the work that I did with the lawn. I have worked to uncover the sidewalk, and I have worked to sort of beautify the lawn a little bit. There are some trees that were growing. I did step on a nail and totally have to go get a tetanus shot because I couldn't remember exactly how long ago my last tetanus shot was. But at some point someone tore some fencing down and they had it on the edge of the property, all the boards with the nails. I didn't know that, and when I was clear cutting the lawn in the very beginning, there were some little trees and things that were growing up over there around those boards because whoever had maintained the property and cut the grass obviously avoided those boards that had been piled up. So there was some growth over there, and I was working through to get that out. Totally stepped on a nail. It was very painful for several weeks. I kind of couldn't walk normal. And then, quite honestly, I was a little scared of that area of the yard and just sort of stayed away from it for about a year. So I did get some like super steel boots, and I got the rest of the wood, but I still just didn't go over there. I finally just recently decided, okay, I'm gonna go make sure that I got all of the wood and dig out the roots for the little bushes, the trees that were growing over there. So finally now I can fully mow that area and keep it under control all the way to the property line. And I think the last thing is to paint the front door, install the stained glass film, attack the gopher, and get all of the wood that I have, the various wood projects, the various wood materials left over, get those stored properly. I have an idea for wood storage, like cart. I found a design that I like, so I'm going to work on building that so that I can finally have somewhere to put the leftover materials from projects. In the foyer, the staircase was a huge feature when I saw this house, and I just think it's gorgeous, and I am so excited to be able to get it looking good. It's going to be such a beautiful feature for this house. What I have done in this space so far, aside from fill it with all the junk in various and cycling iterations. So what I did when I first got here, like everything else, was clear out the things that were in this space. There was a big refrigerator, there were pieces of furniture and everything. And at some point it was actually empty, which was really cool. It's a beautiful space when it's empty, but that didn't last very long. I cleared everything out. I have patched very large holes in the wall. When I did the renovation on the upstairs bathroom, I cut some knob and tube wire that fed the light to the dining room, the foyer, and the porch. And so I needed to then run new wire, and that was a whole interesting new experience running wire. I got to buy some new tools, replaced the exterior of the porch light, and rewired the box for the switch, rewired the light. I painted the light, and I have not done texture in here yet, but that is something that I need to do. I think that's it. There's still some holes in the wall that need to be patched and texture. I need to paint the trim. I need to paint the floor. I need to paint the stairs. I need to paint the front door. Those are the things that are left. Living room. This room is also pink. It had plaid peel and stick wallpaper over the fireplace. The mantle was falling off, not connected to the wall. It was full of stuff, and there was a light coming out of the floor. So this is, obviously there's a full basement under the house, and in answer to actually running electrical, sometimes people just punched through the floor and pulled a cord, and there was power. So obviously when I moved in, there were some things to do. What I have done in this space is clear it out. I replaced the very large window pane, and I pulled down the peel and stick wallpaper. I pulled the fireplace mantle off, and I have cleaned and cleaned and cleaned the fireplace. It is still covered in soot and still needs some work. I toyed with the idea of restoring the fireplace, and that is not something that I'm going to do. But I have some ideas, and obviously the fireplace needs some work. There was an HVAC duct that ran alongside the fireplace. I had that removed. I cut and removed the live electrical wires lighting that ran up through the floor. And that's about all that I've done in here. What still needs to be done, I need to fix the holes and surface the fireplace and mantle, reattach the mantle, texture in this room, paint, trim, and the floor. And I think that's everything that the living room requires. Dining room. So getting all of the stuff that was in this room cleared out was one thing, and then eventually getting those pieces of furniture sold was another thing. The ceiling tiles that were in here were the same that's still in the kitchen, the very, very cheap particle board foot square tiles. Because of the leak that was in the upstairs bathroom, this whole portion of the ceiling was missing. So what I did in here, cleared everything out, took down all the ceiling tiles. I'm trying to think. I installed the chair rail. I installed the new ceiling tiles, dining room light. I put in a new chandelier, and the ceiling, I just love the ceiling in here. I think it's beautiful. So I did the ceiling tiles in here. I'm very proud of that. I reused the crown molding trim that was here before. I painted, and I left this room also has the wood paneling like the back bedroom. So primed and painted and got all of this so that it looks nice. And because of the water damage that was done from the upstairs bathroom, the wood paneling on this wall was warped. So I installed these shelves to secure and stabilize the paneling and the plaster that's behind it. And they work perfectly, and I'm very excited. They also give like a storage space for your dining dishes and decor and all that stuff. Just a real pretty something. I painted the floor grate. What still needs to be done in here, I need to pull the peel and stick tiles up. I need to repair the few pieces of the flooring that are missing and broken, and then paint the floor. And that's all that's left in the dining room. So this is the downstairs hallway. When I bought the house, there was a large hole in the floor here. Again, the water damage from the upstairs bathroom over time had degraded the wood throughout this area, including the floor. What I have done to this space, I pulled everything out. This is the pantry, everything being taken out. I pulled all of the plaster off of the lath throughout this space and all of the ceiling. And I did that so that I could repair all of the structural wood that had water damage and access the knob and tube so that I could properly terminate it in a junction box that is accessible. So there's a little junction box in the ceiling because that's accessible. Fixed the floor. I sistered the joists to reinforce them. Though they seemed fine, I just wanted to be absolutely sure. And then I built up the layers of the floor to make this not be a hole. Replaced the covering. The drain pipe for the upstairs bathroom runs through this wall. And at one point this was an exterior wall to the house. And so this pipe is too thick to fit inside the wall. So there was just a little bump out here. I replaced this and I installed a light for this space. It has a little switch that runs off of proper power instead of knob and tube. What still needs to be done is I need to finish building up the floor in here, which is going to be part of whenever I repair the floor for the dining room because the transition. There needs to be a little bit, like we're talking millimeters of difference between the asbestos tile that I'm not going to touch and the portion of the floor that was a big hole. So I have a couple pieces of material to be backing to get the floor to be solid. So throughout this space and the kitchen, I'm going to do some new floor, and I need to mud the walls, sand, texture, paint, and paint the pantry. And then do some trim for this. And the door. That's the stuff that's left in this space. Did you come to sit with me? Where's beautiful baby dog? Why is he downstairs? So this is the kitchen. So getting everything out of here was the first thing that I did. And then I cleaned and cleaned and cleaned and cleaned and cleaned and cleaned and never felt like it was clean. I have a little steam cleaner and like I scraped and steamed the cabinets, the floor, everything, and it just never got clean. So I have been in this house for almost 2 years. I brought this little island in and I have all of my dishes in this island. I have my little cooktop, and like camping in the house has been the standard for me. And until recently, this little powered cooler has been my refrigerator. It has a refrigerator and a freezer side. It can run off of 12 volt. It's very low consumption. I got this, I have loved it. I got it very shortly after I moved into the house. I had been keeping food at my brother's house, and then when I finally had power in the house, I got this, and that took a couple months. So this little freezer cooler has been my refrigeration for food for about 1.5 years. And these two things enabled me to kind of just like camp in place. And then I added a couple other things. I added this pantry. Again, I have cleared the stuff out of the pantry, but I haven't refinished the pantry in the hallway, so I'm not going to use it. And while I had cleaned and cleaned and cleaned and cleaned and cleaned the cabinets, I hadn't refinished them, so I wasn't going to use them either. I just sort of existed in the space. This space, for a long time, I had a hose that ran up from the basement, like a garden hose, and I had water to the sink. And that was how I had water in the house when I hadn't fully replumbed the house. So when I bought the house, the plumbing looked fine. It didn't look like it needed to be replaced. But I say that as not a plumbing professional, and I was wrong. When I had the utilities turned back on, what I did was I brought out different professionals in order to ensure that everything was okay. I also had plumbers come out and look at everything, make sure everything was safe. When they came out, they said, yeah, you have had pipes that froze, and there's pinholes throughout the copper. It's just, if you turn the water back onto the house, you will have a flood throughout in no time. Which was not something I was planning to do, to replumb the whole house. So that was a thing. And like I said, I had a garden hose that ran up to the kitchen sink, and that was the water that I had in the house for months and months and months. The work that I have done in here, like I said, cleared everything out, cleaned extensively. Recently, what I've done in here is paint the cabinets, paint the countertop, paint the walls and the trim, and install the refrigerator. I need to deal with the refrigerator electrical. There's an outlet for it, but it doesn't have 3 prongs, and the refrigerator that I have has 3 prongs, so I need to change those out. I installed a new faucet, and then of course new water line plumbing when I redid the plumbing in here. And that's what I've done in the kitchen. Oh, and I painted the light, and I painted the ceiling. This is the downstairs bathroom. I knew I needed to move the vanity. The vanity that was there was broken down, damaged, not very aesthetically pleasing, and also in the wrong place. So what I did was redirect the water lines and replaced the toilet. I redid the floor, redid the drain plumbing so that you could properly have a washer and dryer, which there's a whole lot of videos about this bathroom. From start to finish, there's videos of this bathroom renovation. What I did was take up the floor, remove the toilet, pulled down into the plumbing, rerouted the plumbing through here so the water was not going over the electrical panel from the basement, installed a vent and proper plumbing drain for the washer, rerouted the electrical for the washer and the dryer, and put a new dryer plug in, put a dryer vent in the wall so it vents out of the house, and the exterior vent hood thing, I put that out there. Textured the walls, painted the walls, textured the ceiling, painted the ceiling, swagged and installed this light. This vent light also works. I don't turn it on when I'm doing videos because it makes noise. It's a vent. Put a new light over there. Did the little stained glass effect on the window. This looks out into the garage, which is not very pleasing, but I really like this stained glass now. It's very pretty. And the washer and dryer is so convenient because you just open it up and you take it out of the washer and you toss it in the dryer. And it's very convenient. I love it. So this vanity has not been installed. It needs to, but I have a plan for it. I am holding off on that because I am thinking to replace the top. I would like to find one of the utility sinks to replace the top. So I'm holding off on this because I want to make it a little bit better. Anyways, I have a plan for this. I can install the vanity. That's the last thing that needs to be done in this space. I probably won't do any installed shelving. I might do freestanding shelving. But that's this bathroom. So I'm very excited. I have washing laundry service in the house now. And I can just come down and throw the laundry in and then toss it in the dryer. And it's so convenient. It's so convenient. I love it. 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 So this space has been such a quality of life improvement to have laundry, to just have a second bathroom, so when I'm working on things, it's more convenient. So this is the main staircase, kind of in the foyer and almost to the second floor. This is the landing. This is actually the reason I bought this house. These stairs are gorgeous. And I saw them in the photos from the county and I just thought they were so beautiful. Just such character of this house. It was just really cool. What I've done in this space is patch holes in the wall. I replaced this glass in the window and that's it. I have been very, very grateful that these stairs are so sturdy. They are solid and I've never felt unsafe, which is just amazing. They had been carpeted at some point, so there's lots of little nails and things. What I am going to do in this space is paint the walls, which is going to be a masterfully much more difficult task than I am probably prepared for, because this landing, there's probably another 20 feet to the ceiling. So 15 feet for sure. 15 feet for sure to the ceiling. And it's 4 feet over from the landing that I need to paint that wall. So this is going to be a whole little thing. And I would love to get like some scaffolding, but we're gonna see. I don't know. Painting this is gonna be a thing. What I need to do is dig out all the nails, repair the wood just from stairs being chipped and bumped and scraped and abused for years and years, decades, and paint in this area. Paint the trim, all the stairs, all of this is just going to be a ton of painting, which it is legit. It's going to be a lot. This is the front bedroom, and there is no flooring in this room. What I did in this room is, there was a lot of stuff in this room. This room did take a lot to clear out the stuff. In that back bay window bedroom, there were a lot of bottles. There were a lot of containers of liquids to clear out. But other than that, there wasn't a lot of stuff. In this room, there was still just a lot of stuff. There were things in the closet and there was a broken down bed in here. And so getting all of the stuff out of this room was a lot of work. The floor still needs to be done. Touch-up paint needs to be done. And that's it. This room doesn't have the best lighting. There's only one little light there, but it has a beautiful window. So it is what it is. Hello, baby dog. You're so beautiful. Yes, you are. Hi, do you have this whole bed all to yourself? And you have my little pillow and you're just laying here all to beautiful self? Oh, so beautiful. So this room has not been my room, except for the last few weeks. When I moved into the house, I cleaned out the master bedroom, and when I didn't have power and I didn't have water and I was camping quite literally in the inside of the house, I moved into and have until just a few weeks ago been living in the master bedroom. But because I am ready to paint the master bedroom, I moved my bed and things into this room a few weeks ago. What I did in here, again, move everything out, clean, and then this room, I think there I don't think there were any holes in the walls in this room. I don't think there were any holes in the walls in this room. The closet doors need to be reinstalled. And then other than that, all I've done in here is clear out and paint. And all that is left to do in here is to paint the floor and touch up the paint in here, especially the trim paint in this room. And when I finish the master bedroom, I will move back out of here and back into the master bedroom. And so then I will finish those things that are left in this room. So in this back bedroom, there was a disgusting bunk bed. This was obviously a kid's room. There was carpet, and at some point there was a dog. When I moved into the house, honestly, until just a couple months ago, I have kept this door closed and done essentially nothing in here. But a couple months ago, when my sister was here, pulled up the carpet, got all the bunk bed and furniture and all the stuff out of here, and there is wood paneling in here, which is not great. And I'm sure that the plaster behind it is not in great condition, so I didn't want to take it down and then have to do a lot of plaster repair. I did take down the wallpaper stuff that was on the ceiling and textured the ceiling, added these little battens, and have started to paint in here. There's this little light, which is hardwired and not run off of the switch. Again, when my sister came, you can watch that video. There was a little bit of a spark. But I have a new light for this, a fixture that has a switch installed, so I can finally get that fixed. I need to cut in here. I need to clean this floor. It was the carpet, and the carpet pad was soaked in urine. It was so gross in here. The floor is gross because when I scraped the wallpaper off the ceiling, I just let everything fall, which was not the most efficient choice. Moving forward, I realize more that now that I need to clean up as I go. But there's drywall, mud, and whatever glue was on the other side of the wallpaper that has now gotten these pieces to stick to the floor. It's just a thing I need to clean, and I should have cleaned up as I went. Lesson learned. So in this room, I basically just sealed it off, didn't do anything for the longest time. And then at this point, what I've done, taken up the carpet, or got everything out, taken up the carpet, added the battens, painted. I still need to cut in, textured the ceiling, temporary light installed. I have a new light to install, textured and filled in the holes in the closet. So there is still painting to do, electrical light. I still need to paint the ceiling and clean and paint the floor. The whole second floor has asbestos tile, so I'm not tearing it up, I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna clean it and paint it and seal it away. The other thing that still needs to be done in here, I want to do something about that light because it's just weird, and probably do some caulking to make it just look a little bit better in here. So this upstairs hall, there were holes in the walls that I have patched and sealed. There were lots of holes in this stairwell that I have worked to patch. I have not finished texturing or dealing with the walls in this stairwell. I did clean the stairs a little bit, and I would dearly like if it were my house, I would change the treads on the floor, but I'm not gonna do that. So I need to finish texturing, painting, and cleaning, and that's the extent of the plans for the stairwell and the hall. The hall is actually, I think, the next thing that I'm gonna work on. Painting and getting the texture in the hall and the stairwell, and then I can clean and do the floors on the second floor and have no more paint stuff going on. What I have done in this space is patched all the holes in the walls, and that's about it. I put in a doorbell. I also did that. What I need to do is paint the walls, the trim. I need a texture in the stairwell before I can paint, and then clean the floor and paint the floor. Oh, and I need to finish fixing, I put an access panel for the bathroom water, shower valve and all that stuff. And I need to actually install the access panel. I cut a hole for it, but I haven't installed the access panel yet. This is the upstairs bathroom. This is actually where I started posting videos. And this was not where I started working on the house, but this is where the YouTube journey begins for this house. And originally, there was a bathtub here, shower here, toilet, and a very, very small vanity and a medicine cabinet. And this wainscoting was all covered up and went, the wainscoting I think went all the way around. I can't remember. But originally I was just going to replace the toilet and fix the water damaged floor. The tank had a little crack in it, so it was something that you wouldn't notice. And it just sat for years and years and years, leaking and degrading the floor. So I was originally just going to replace a little section of the floor, just do one little thing. And as with almost everything in this project, in this house, which was originally a 3 to 4 month timeline, because I didn't need to do any plumbing, I didn't need to do electrical, the roof is in good condition, the foundation is in good condition. I was going to sand the floors, paint the walls and make it pretty, patch up the holes in the walls. There really wasn't that much to do. And I am almost 2 years out, and I'm at the point now of doing the stuff that I originally thought about that I needed to do, because there was so much infrastructure stuff. Once I pulled this toilet out and had the floor exposed, I just couldn't leave it, because like that's the point at which you fix the things. So I didn't want to just put a Band-Aid on it and know that there was issues inside or potential issues. I just couldn't do it. It just wasn't, it's just not in me. Did my very first tile job on the floor in this bathroom, which is not perfect, and I learned several things. The tiles on the wall, however, I did a much better job. I did a little half wall of tile here. I waterproofed everything, and then did texture in this bathroom. So I put in some little shelves. I put in a chair rail. I moved the plumbing from the shower being on that side to that side, which meant I had to cut some knob and tube, which meant that I didn't have power to the light in the dining room, the foyer, the porch, and also I think it powered the light in the back bedroom closet. Potentially, not sure. But I cut that wire to run plumbing, and I installed new drain plumbing. I had a plumber come out to review everything that I did, and he said I did a really good job, which was I was very pleased. I put in a cast iron clawfoot bathtub and refinished that, and made my own shower rod over the cast iron clawfoot tub. Those rings are really, really expensive for some reason. So I made this for like $50. I had to buy a tool that was like $50. So all in it was $100 to do this. But the rings that you buy are like $500 and they're small. And so I made this as large as I could for the space that it is, so that you have as much space inside of the shower curtains, just to have a comfortable rainfall shower head, all of the nice things of the bathtub. I got a new vanity, new to me, for free on Facebook Marketplace, and it came with the light fixture. So I refinished this. think that's everything I did in here. Yeah, so this bathroom got a completely full remodel, refresh, restore. The only things left to do in this space is to paint the trim and paint the door. I ran new electrical for the light because when I took out the medicine cabinet, I found that it was knob and tube. I ran power from the GFCI outlet in here and powered the light. So that was some crawling around in the attic, but that's what I did in here. You're getting a little sneak peek of what I have done this week. So this is the master bedroom, and up until recently, I was living in this room, and I got to the point where I was ready to paint this room, and I have, and it worked out very well, and I'm very excited. So real quick, what I did in this room, when I bought the house, I cleared the stuff out, and I went to my brother's house and got buckets of water, came back to this house and scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed at the floor, trying to get this clean. Again, there's asbestos tile in here, and it was just all that wallpaper in here, which I just left. I didn't do anything to the walls for a long time. Once I got to the point where I felt like I had cleaned as best I could, I laid down some carpets. I moved all of my stuff in. I bought furniture here. I didn't bring furniture when I moved. So I set up, I have my bed, I have my desk for the office remote work that I do, and I just kind of live in this one room and then do renovations on the house. This room was finally to the point where it needed some renovations, and so I kind of had to move into the other room, like I said. So what I have done in here, originally clearing out all the stuff, cleaning the floor, and then I didn't do anything for a long time. Recently, I took down the wallpaper, which was a little bit longer than I thought it was going to take. And then I textured all of the walls in here and primed and painted, and I painted the ceiling and the trim, and I also installed a new outlet in here, and I think that's everything that I've done in here. What is left to do is paint the floor and the doors. I think that's all that's left. I still need to do a little bit of touch up, which is a task that I'm going to work on today. Yesterday, I actually ran out of wallpaper, and so I needed to go to the store in order, like I was doing the touch ups along the ceiling, and I just didn't have enough paint. So I need to finish that and then do the floor. And after I do the floor, then I can move back into this room and finish the floor for the rest of the second floor, which is really exciting. Oh, so exciting. Another thing that I need to do in here, so this tile in here is actually it's the worst tile, it's the worst condition in the house. There are pieces that are missing, there are holes burned into the tile. I don't know what they did, why they did what they did, I don't know. But I did figure out a solution of what I'm gonna do to fix it. So the floor in here is all that's left, and the doors, which is gonna be the topic for the next couple videos. Okay. Ugh. Okay, so this is the like insulated side of the basement. Wanted to do. And so I finally hired someone to come and clear all of the stuff out of the basement and the attic. So getting all of the stuff cleared out, I pulled down the covering material for the ceiling, pulled apart this falling down closet thing and the plants that were living in there. redid the plumbing, reconnected the water heater, had a new electrical panel installed. On the other side, there's a hole that goes through the foundation under the porch. So I blocked that up. I have blocked one of the windows and tried to block the other. The old oil tank for the old heating system has fill pipes that go through that window on this side of the basement, and because of that the window isn't solid. I've tried to block it up, but there's a cat that likes to live in the basement and he's winning so far. So what is left to do is those two windows, cut that fill pipe so that I can install a solid window, and then install the two windows and finish clearing out the trash from the demolition that I did down here. This is the attic. This is another very cool space of this very old house that I absolutely love and I'm going to destroy and hate that. Ugh. Insulation that is under these floorboards is not sufficient for this house by quite a significant degree. So what was done in this room so far is getting all of the stuff out. This was about 3 feet deep of clothes and just bags and bags of things, which I think is what they were using for insulation. So all of that was cleared out, and there is this little bedroom, which is most likely like a servant's quarters. This space was cleared out, cleaned. The netting has gone up, soffits were cleared out. There is one soffit that I need to repair, and because of the nails and the positioning, I haven't done that yet. I have some tentative ideas of how to do it, and I think I have an idea that is just going to have to work, and then I can finish closing off the netting that's on that side. And then what will happen is this will get filled with insulation across the whole floor. I need to build a little railing that goes around this stair access and net around it so that the insulation can cover and not fall down the stairs. Is more functional, what is more useful to people is to have an insulated home. So putting insulation in is more useful than having a pretty space to read. The stairs make this ineligible for living square footage, so it's not something that's going to help my resale if I try to make this into a livable space. These stairs are just way too steep. So it is a space that I am losing, and I am very sad about it, but it will be functionally better for the house when I get the insulation installed. Thanks so much for coming along for the house tour. It's been really fun looking back at everything that I've actually gotten done on this house, and it makes me so excited for how close I am to finishing. Starting this week, I'm trying something new. I'll be sharing shorter Journey With Me videos on Wednesdays and Fridays, focused on midweek progress. Sundays, I'll still post full weekly videos, so I hope you'll join me for whichever format you enjoy most. Thanks for being part of the journey. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.